Hello friends and welcome to Wooveboxing, the channel all about the Woovebox. Today we're going to cover 5 advanced tips to help you create on the Woovebox. Tip number 1 is don't forget to use the master compressor. The Woovebox has a master compressor and you can find it in song mode, actually on this very screen. And this compressor has the usual compressor settings. You have your threshold on key 9, 0 means it's going to be always on, compression of any signal, and 100 means it will be always off because the signal is never going to be high enough to start compression. The next one is the compressor ratio. And just so you know, a value higher than 12 is generally considered to act as a limiter rather than a compressor. And then after that, we have the compressor attack and the compressor release. Tip number 2 is how to use live mode to audition track sections. So right now I have a track. And as you can hear, there's a lot going on. So let's say I wanted to work on the ARP track, but I wanted to hear only the lead, the chords, and the kick. Well, I'm going to go to my ARP track and I'm going to select it twice so I solo it. So if I play now, I can only hear the ARP. Now I'm going to go to live mode by holding the encoder and clicking live mode. And now, same thing, I can only hear the ARP track. Except now I can select more tracks. So for example, I'm going to hold right, click on the bass, the chords, and the kick. And now I have this. Great. And let's say I want to edit the filter of my bass track now in this arrangement. All you have to do, hold down the encoder and then hold down the track for maybe 1 second, and then you will go to that track. And now I can make all the edits I want. And it remembered the mutes from live mode. There you go. I use this a lot. Tip number 3 is how to set up legato, otherwise known as pitch glides. This is really fun when jamming. So right now I have this lead, and I would like to have pitch glides. So what you do, you go into the pitch page right here, and it's going to be these 2 keys. So the first one is legato speed, and the second one is legato probability. So this is actually really cool because you don't have to have legato on every step or every key press. So let's set this to 100 so we do get it every time. And then you're going to add some speed. So if you go to the right, it's going to be slower than a step. And if you go to the left, it will be faster than a step. So let's go to -2. Next, you just need to press the second note while you're still holding the first note. So if I play normally, I don't get it. But if I hold this note and then press this note, you'll notice sometimes the note gets stuck like this, and then you just press a note and it will fix itself. So one limitation of this with the current note priority implementation on the Woovebox is if you hold a key and get the glide on the next key, but then you press another key, it's not going to glide to that one. Tip number 4 is how to change the FX send settings. The Woovebox has a few effect sends. They are located in the global menu. You have reverb, chorus, and then 2 delays, delay 1 and delay 2. But what if you wanted to change those settings? Well, you can. First, you're going to navigate to song mode by holding the encoder and pressing song. And then you're now in the global song menu. If you turn this to the right, it says effect, and you're now in the effect screen. The first row will be mostly for delay 1 with a stereo width parameter at the end. And the next row will be for delay 2. And the last one is actually some vinyl crackle, so you can turn this on. And this goes negative, but I'm not actually sure what that does. The next row is for chorus. It's just 3. Then you have 2 parameters for the reverb and then an EQ. And tip number 5 is the Woovebox demo mode. So if you want to show your Woovebox to a friend, but you're concerned that the autosave is going to destroy your beautiful patterns when they press random buttons, fear not. You're about to lose the overlay when I turn off the Woovebox, but we need to do this to demo this feature. So I'm going to turn off the Woovebox. All right. To enter this demo mode, you hold key 13 and turn on the Woovebox. Boom. All right. And what happened is it booted you into an empty song and there is no saving. So your friend can literally do, you can be like, hey, look how quick it is to, I don't know. Make a song. And it's not going to save this over your patterns. And when you're done, you just turn it off. And there you go. Now, I will show a bonus tip on this one. So let's say we boot into demo mode. And let's say your friend is a maestro and he creates a masterpiece and you now want to save it. Well, there is, as of firmware 2421 and above, a save option in the context menu in song mode. So now that you're in song mode, hold right, and you can now save the song by long pressing this. And that is it for this video. If you are looking for more tips and tricks on the Woovebox, I do have another video titled 10 Tips Every Woovebox Owner Should Know, so check that out. As always, thank you so much for being here, and ciao ciao. Actually, since I got you here, I'll just kind of play around with this little thing I made last night. Et voilà. Abrupt ending. Boom.